the hardest type rating I've done was the Challenger 601, because it was a very old, antiquated aircraft.
Almost archaic,
bit of a beast, a hydraulic beast. And we went, yeah, absolutely, you know, really archaic. I mean, to the point where if you wanted to use thrust reversers, you had to push these big arm buttons behind the throttles when you came into land. And if you didn't push the arm buttons, or you forgot, you were sat there going, why is reverse not working? I mean, there's some real kind of foibles now that we look at it ergonomically, and in terms of the development of pilots and their psychology, we'd sit there now and go, why on God's earth did we think that was a good idea to make that? And that's how it started. And I ended up going around the world on this Challenger, which was a fantastic experience, because obviously very quickly I got into long range operations. At that time, CPDLC didn't exist, so the text messaging system between the aircraft and a ground station. So everything was done on these HF radios, where it literally sounded like someone had put like a metal bucket over their head and were talking into a metal bucket. We went all around the world, and it was fantastic. I was very fortunate, and by that point, I was pretty much coming up for, as Ian put it, ready for a left-hand seat. And that's when things then kind of started to take a bit of a difference. Ian did a lot of examining on the citation, and there were quite a few operators at the time. This was just pre-2008. Who were screaming out for pilots, basically, especially in the smaller citations and commanders. And I was lucky enough to get an upgrade onto the Citation 2 and the Citation 2 series. So that covered quite a few different variants within that type. And yeah, I started off left-hand seat, and kind of fell into the AAC world. So charter, basically.
Where was that based?
And I did that for a good couple of years. And Southampton. So that was with a company is longer with us, Exclusive Jet. Things you'll find in core worst areas for businesses that start up and then kind of struggle, maybe don't do that great, and then fold. So I've got one of these CVs, unfortunately, it's got a smattering of a few companies on it, many of which no longer exist. So I guess it's just part of the game with what we do.
I mean, there is that element, but I mean, I've been at 2 airlines in 3 years now. So, you know, I mean, I don't think there's any.
Of course.
I think the way the market is at the moment, when you think since Monarch went, you know, we've lost Monarch, we've lost Flybe, we've lost EMI, we've lost Thomas Cook. Well, that's those are 4 staple airlines. The biggest con in aviation,
where you says
job security and stuff like that. You just got to work hard and keep working hard until you are so safe you can stop working hard. I don't think that happens for a while, though.
I think I agree with you on that. I do think it's a long time, and you certainly need quite a high level of experience before you get to that comfort level. I would agree with you on that, mate. Because it depends on the market at the time.
Exactly.
I think you and I have both seen it during our careers, where one minute we're told, you know, they're recruiting pilots like mad, and the next bit it's like everyone's going to be fired. And it's, oh, we're recruiting like mad, everyone's going to be fired. So you very quickly get to realise there's this very much this cycle that goes around in aviation, depending on the markets and the economies, obviously.
Jimbo,